Out of all the vertical jump programs out there, Vert Shock Pro is by far the most talked about. Its creator, founder and CEO of Think Pro, Adam Foker, makes the bold claim that it will increase your vertical by 9 to 15 inches. You just need to give it 8 weeks of your time. Let's take a step back here. Most other vertical jump training programs typically require 3 to 6 months of your time to see an average increase of 10 inches to your jump. What makes Vert Shock so different? Is it really as effective as it claims? The only way to find out was to try it out myself. In this review, I'll be sharing my personal 8-week journey with the program. I'll say this now, it's a long read. But if you're serious about committing 8 weeks to developing your jump, it's well worth the read, I hope. Before we take a look at the program itself, let me give a brief introduction of myself. My name is Max and I'm a 26-year-old, avid 76ers fan. Allen Iverson was my childhood hero. A smaller guy capable of causing mayhem in a field of giants. He'd send chills down my spine every time he dunked. Anyone remember this gem? Well, I'm a hair under 6 foot, 182 centimeters for you Europeans, so technically around the same height as him. In fact, most people put his height at 5'11", and don't forget the NBA measures players' heights with shoes on. The point is I always fancied myself as a bit of an Iverson-esque player. Unfortunately, I couldn't dunk, unlike him. Fast forward 15 years and that burning desire to be able to dunk hadn't faded at all. So I decided to set myself a challenge, learn to dunk. The main obstacle would obviously be getting above the rim. Simply put, I needed to increase my vertical jump. By a lot. Unfortunately, the odds were stacked against me. Not only was I lacking in height, but I wasn't born an athlete. I didn't even make the high school basketball team, despite being enthusiastic about the sport. Dunking just wasn't something that would come naturally. I was well aware of that, and so I began researching ways to increase my vertical jump. Vert Shock is an 8-week program split up into 3 separate shock phases. Each phase is supposed to achieve a different goal. Pre-shock phase, week 1. The first week is the pre-shock phase, in which your body is prepared for the rest of the course. Its goal is to condition your body for the latter 7 weeks and minimize any risk of injury. You'll be training for 6 days during this week. You heard it right, you only have 1 day of rest during your first week. Now, compared to the rest of the program, the 45 to 60-minute workouts were actually pretty easy going, but there's little doubt you'll be left with sore muscles. My muscles became sore and I wasn't even out of shape before I started. The reason for that is because your muscles are adapting to various plyometric exercises that they haven't experienced before. You might think the cramps you get will make you unable to train for 6 consecutive days. However, Adam has scheduled the workout in such a way that different muscle groups get a chance to rest. As an example, you'll do 2 days of exercises involving legs and then have a day that only involves upper body training. The shock phase, weeks 2 to 7. Weeks 2 to 7 are the shock phase, which is designed to strengthen your fast twitch muscle fibers. The exercises are extremely varied. Deep squats for strength, planks for the core, depth jumps for explosiveness. You'll be putting some serious work in. By the way, the program also includes some sprinting exercises which I wasn't expecting. I'd suggest you make sure you know a place where you can do that. I went to my local park, but you can also try your school track. It doesn't take long to realize why it's named the shock phase. Adam really stresses the importance of doing the exercises at max intensity in order to reap the benefits. Basically, our bodies only recruit the type IIB, fast twitch fibers as a last resort. If you exercise at low intensity, you'll barely develop them. All of this might sound very challenging. And it is. But trust me, it's still very doable. The post-shock phase, week 8 finally, in the last week we've got the post-shock phase. Like the first week, you'll only have 1 day of rest. The purpose of this phase is to polish your jump motion and commit everything to muscle memory. All the speed and strength gains from the previous 7 weeks come together. The result? You'll be jumping higher than ever before. The exercises in this final phase are mainly jumps you have already trained before, but the number of reps is higher. You'll perform a staggering 662 jumps in this final week. I felt like it was perhaps too much, and my jumping form was deteriorating during the latter half of each workout session. However, in the end I managed to get through it all. To know more or buy Vert Shock, please find the official link is in the description below.